everybody. So I just want to welcome you. This is our last final edition of Be in the Ecosystem for the year 2025. And oh my goodness, Tammy is like, yes, girl, we made it. Oh no, hold up. What month is this? Yeah, it's December. Because I was like, I'm saying that, but then I'm like, is that right? Yes, it is December. Today is December 1st. And I just want to tell you, geez Louise, like, has this year gone by like nobody's business? It has. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, wow, it really is December 1st. So it was just Thanksgiving, and now that is over. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of jump in this month. We had a little bit of a change because, things don't always go as you plan. But that's okay because we definitely know how to maneuver and meander and go around, upside down. You're turning me, all of that. So today what I'm going to do, I planned when I found out that our original guest is not going to be able to make it, because sometimes when you work for governmental agencies, you think you can do some stuff and then you find out that you can't do some things. And so that's not, anybody's fault. That's just the climate that we live in now. However, what I know is that we over here at Give It to the People, we plan for all eventualities because we do not like to be stressed, but we also like to deliver on the things that we were talking about or things that we said that we were going to do. And so in order to do that, that means that we go ahead and we deliver, right? So today I want to just kind of let you guys know that I put together like a mini presentation, and one of our members / sponsors does not even know that they are featured in this. And so I think this is going to be a good day to just really kind of show you some of the things that you might want to do when you go into the next year. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about, and let me make sure that this is where it's supposed to be. We're going to talk about just what is the Be in the Ecosystem virtual meetup. So this is our opportunity on a monthly basis to be able to connect with some thought leaders, people that are doing things in the community, people that are actually in the ecosystem, making it do what it do all across the state. And so our goal is to look at fostering collaboration, because we can do a lot of things by ourselves, but why would we if we don't have to? Now, that doesn't mean just because like on a day-to-day that we're operating solo dolo, that we don't have people in the background that are still sponsoring, helping, making sure that people know about the things that we're doing, because we definitely do. But it's all about the impact that we can make as a community. And I think that that's an important thing for us to just think about in business is, what is our impact? And so we'll be coming out later on in the month with the impact report that we have for this year, the good year of 2025. And I want you to think about that for your own business, because a lot of times we think about, well, how much money did we make? Did we make as much as we made last year? Did we make more? Did we hit our goal financially, right? And that's an important factor to think about. And so I'm just going to be completely honest and transparent. We did not make as much this year as we did last year. Now, a lot of that has to do with this government and some of the things that you just thought were going to happen that didn't happen in a certain way. But that doesn't mean that we still weren't successful. That does mean that what we did was we took the time to really look at impact outside of just dollars. And so one of the biggest things for this year was us starting this membership, the Give It, Get It business membership, which for us was a major feat in saying, look, let's take this whole, we're helping people, we're teaching people, but we can also build community. And so for us, that was important. So Give It to the People, which is our company, and I'm Chisa Penix Brown. I am the Chief Experience Cultivator here. My husband, Montreal Brown, is the CEO. And so what we do here is we create amazing conferences, we create retreats, we create learning sessions, mind mapping, ecosystem building, all those things that connect us together, that somehow people feel like are in desperate little spots. Like they're all over the place sometimes. But if you just sit down, cheeks in the seat is what I like to call it, and pull everything together, it allows you to really see the ecosystem on a broader spectrum, and not just the city that you live in or the county that you live in, but also look at how the work that you do could affect somebody all over the place, all over the state. And that's not even talking about the country and the world. So one of the things that we definitely do is we try to make people's life easier. And how do you make people's life easier? What you do is you focus on what you can do well. And I think that a lot of times in our businesses, we are more so looking at a lot of things like, okay, well, how's this going to affect me today? How's this affect my family? What is this doing for my schedule? The thing is, what you do well will always make room for you. And so what we do well is we make sure that conferences are there. We make sure that people get the education that they need. And for us, that's the most important thing, because that then brings money back into the business. So this is not a thing of like trying to make anybody sad. This is just saying, look, what we say is maybe you didn't make as much this year as you have in the previous years. Maybe you had to switch. Maybe you made more. We don't know what's going on, but I do know that if you are intentional about making a big change, a big shift, then things are going to happen. And why? Because you're not doing the same things that you've always done, which then changes up how you're able to get money, changes up who the client is, changes up who you focus on, where you go, and how you spend your time. And those things are really important. So I don't know about you, but if this year has been one of those where you're like, I don't even know where it went. You are not alone. You are not alone. Okay. All right. Because we are here to tell you that this year has been challenging, but that doesn't mean that we don't rise to the occasion. We rise to that challenge and we meet it with tenacity. We meet it with a ferocity that maybe we haven't had before, because we're trying different things. And so, that can make a big difference in how we actually approach things. So this is why to us, having a membership is an important factor, because it allows you to be able to connect with other people who are going through the same things and who need that help. So when we decided to do this whole Be in the Ecosystem virtual meetup, it was like, okay, well, we want to show people throughout the state that are in the ecosystem that are doing great things that we feel like other people should know, other people should learn about. Now, with this is where we're at now. Because I want you to eat. I want you to eat them up, okay? When we get to 2026, whatever didn't happen, and actually, you know what? Let's pause. Bring it back. It's not about getting this 2026. I want you to think about this today. Whatever you did not do this year, hopefully you still have a chance to do, because it depends on, maybe that opportunity just passed you by. Maybe you didn't have the money to do something. Maybe you spent your money on something differently because that's what was dictated by business or life at that point in time. Maybe you're in a position where you're like, look, I've been meaning to, but I didn't do it all year long. And so let me explain to you something and why this EAT acronym is important to me. Because this year, our whole theme was Be in the Ecosystem. And so for me, what that meant was to really look at the fact that, you're not in this alone, and you need to find other people who can be collaborators, who can be sponsors, who can be put you in a room, who can also just share your message, okay? Because maybe money is not the thing for everybody else, but they believe in you, and so they'll share it. And even if it's something as simple as a share on a page or a share in a meeting, either one of those things is definitely helpful. But what we need to have is, when those people go to share, we need to have something that is out there for them to actually share. Because just telling somebody is great is one thing, that's cool. But when you then have the evidence to back that greatness that other people are saying up, that's where the rubber meets the road, okay? And so what I did was, there were things I wanted to do all year long. Meetings I wanted to go, people I wanted to meet, all of those types of things, right? And what I did was I took the month of November to do that. Now, I'm still going to express myself in other rooms, not as much in December, but in a way where when you look at it, it's like, at least I got to go to one. Okay. So I want you to think about this. Even though we're talking about this whole thing is going to be set for you to think about 2026, I want you to think about right now, because right now where it sits is it sits in a position where you can look at, kind of the idea, right? And you can say, well, listen, should I really focus on X, Y, or Z, right? And the thing is, depending upon where you're at, I mean, yeah, focus on whichever thing is going to make the most amount of sense for you. But this is what I want you to think about. I want you to think about the fact that when we're looking at our businesses, there is still time. There is 31 days in this year, okay? Now, some things they've already done their last, whatever it's going to be. Some things, they still have one more left, right? So just like we're doing this today. So if there's something that you wanted to go to that you still can, I want you to really look at December as this is going to be my achieve it month. Like I didn't do it all year long, but I'm going to do it this month. All right. And so let me just give you an example, something simple. I've been saying I was going to clean my closet room. Don't judge. Okay. Don't judge. Tammy. I've been saying I was going to clean it a good majority of the year, and then stuff got clean, and then it got dirty again, and then it got clean. And I don't mean dirty like it's just filthy. I just mean like if you're the type of person who washes clothes and you put them away immediately, you're like Mr. Brown. If you're the type of person who washes clothes and you put them in a little stack, and then it's another week, another little stack, and another little stack. Before you know it, it's a stack on a stack on a stack, right? I am more that person, and not a bad thing. It's just that that's not what brings me joy, okay? But what I found, and so this is where the business lesson comes in, is that stack on top of that stack on top of that stack had me not being able to find some things that were necessary when I was looking for them. Had me frustrated at times when I knew I had something and then I went out and bought another one of that thing because I couldn't find the original thing that I was looking for, even though I know the thing was in there. So Mr. Brown, I told him what my desire was. I said, listen, I want to, before the end of Thanksgiving weekend, I want to get that room clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make sure all my stuff is hanging up. I want to make sure my stuff is in boxes. And I started in October moving things around. He helped me move one thing. He helped me move another thing. I was like, okay, well, I need this to fit there. And so that was like a start of it. It was a piece. But then we got to the part where I told him, I said last week, I was like, look, I really want to do this and I really need your help. And guess what? His help is what got it done in one day. Yesterday, we got the whole entire thing cleaned up. Okay, so what you say, Tammy? You don't know how much joy that brought to my life to be able to do that, right? Now, this is the thing I want you to understand. I wanted it done Thanksgiving weekend because I knew December 1st was coming and I wanted to wake up this morning with clarity. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think about the things in this month of achievement that you can achieve in December. And I want you to knock those things out, put it on your calendar, make whatever appointments, pay for whatever membership, service, a meeting, event you need to go to, do all of that, right? And then I want you to also think about this presentation for your 2026, because on January 1st, 2026, I want your mind to be as clear as mine is today with a sense of accomplishment of knowing you got some stuff together. So our acronym for you to get into 2026 is EAT, okay? And I mean this in so many different ways because, I love words and I love the semantics of words. So when I say EAT, I mean, let me make sure you got the big face up here, okay? So you can see the whole thing. When I say EAT, I mean, I want you to get everything that you need to so that you can feel fulfilled, okay? And so if you think about when you get a good meal, you're not worried about anything else. All you're doing is you're thinking about every tender morsel that comes in. You're like, oh my goodness. And then you get a beverage that complements it. And then when you finish, you're like, you know what? I'm satiated. Not too full, but I'm good. But I got to eat, okay? Now, there's also another version of this, like if you look for the girls, okay, when they do the, all of that, right? Where you eat, right? So that means you give. That means that all of this, you give it to them. You eat them up, right? Now, that's usually the way that I like to look at eat, because part of you being in business is that you have to show what's so great about what you're doing. And I've been saying this for years, so this is definitely not a new thing over here. So when we talk about EAT, this is what I want you to think about: your experience, your expertise, your authority, and this should say trustworthiness, but I don't know what's going on over here. Let me see. Okay, well, I don't know. Trustworthy is supposed to be there. Okay, maybe I made a little thing, but your trustworthiness, right? So don't worry about that. Now, oh, this is the thing. When we're talking about this acronym of EAT, you are the one who helps build your own empire. So I'm going to use a little case study today, like a mini little case study with our annual sponsor for the Give It Get It business membership, which is none other than La-Tasha Best-Gaddy. She has been a huge supporter this year to help us really hone in on making sure that we had specific touch points in the business, going to certain events, meeting certain people, having things together in a way that allowed us to be able to push our own boundaries of saying, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I didn't think about it that way. The thing is, I am a thinker. I am a doer. So in both of those aspects, sometimes you still might need somebody with a different aspect to say, well, did you think about it this way? And I love that about La-Tasha Best-Gaddy, because to me, Infinity Bridges is one of those companies that does what it says it does. All right. Now, let's jump in so that this way you guys can see a little bit more of what it's because it was there. It's just I had it on animation, so it cut the word off because I had pressed pause. Okay. So this is for you, experience. Show your process, okay? Now, I am not telling you to tell everybody the secret sauce, but I am a person who I never really like to show you all of the behind the scenes, but I like you to see like, okay, boom, it's done. But what I've learned is sometimes that when people can see how you're doing things, where you're doing things, where you're going, who you're meeting with. And I'm not telling you tell all the sauce, because that's not a belief that I have. But sometimes that's a part of the process. So they may be able to get a recipe, but they can't do it like you. You know what I mean? And so let's just say, for instance, I saw this meme that was going through for Thanksgiving. And this lady was just saying she didn't like the cornbread. And and I mean, there was a lot of other choice words in there, but she said this cornbread doesn't taste right. And the one guy was like, see, I told you, don't put that skillet in the dishwasher. Now, if you are Southern and you understand the skillet, right? A skillet, you are supposed to wash in the sink. It still retains some of the oils and the moisture and stuff. And this is why it's so important in the Black household specifically that the skillet gets passed down. Like, you want that skillet, okay? So I want you to think about your business like that. Your business is the skillet. It's got all of the oils and the juices and the seasoning and everything in it. And sometimes when you put it in a dishwasher, because you're trying to just change up so much, it takes out some of the flavor. And I think a lot of times people want to try to be so much like somebody else that they put it in the dishwasher. The flavor is still not there. So there's a difference though. You wash it in the sink, you wash it out, but it still seems to retain that value, that taste, that spark that maybe you can't get anywhere else, right? So when I say show your process, that's that behind the scenes. That's showing people some of the things that you do to get things done. They are still not going to have all of the connections that you have. They're still not going to have the relationships that you have. So showing them stuff doesn't really, hurt at all. Doesn't mean people don't try to, let's use the word imitate or steal, because that happens too. But let's look at it from a different perspective. Whenever you're writing, and I do this all the time, use first person. Because AI typically is not going to write in an I format. AI is going to write like it's the company, okay? And a lot of people are using AI now, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But if I'm speaking from Chisa's point of view, it's an I. If I'm speaking from give it to the people, it's a we and it's a us. All right. And so utilizing that first person when you're writing, especially if you're talking to people, does make a huge difference because you're relaying things from your experience that you have, and now they get to understand it. And guess what? Nobody else has your experience other than you. So this is where you can toot your horn. This is where you can talk about your degrees. This is where you can share some of the things that you've already done. And so in my experience, one thing that I realize is just because people don't know that you've done things doesn't mean you didn't do them. Oh, a word. What? Just because people don't know that you've done things doesn't mean you didn't do them. Come on, Tammy. Now listen, let me tell you why I think that's important, because sometimes you have so much experience that maybe you're like me and you moved to a different city. And so the people in the new city don't necessarily know all the experience that you had before, but the people in the old city do, right? And so it's interesting. But then you make those decisions as to what you want people to know. And then on the last part of this is your client success. If we're in business to help other people, then what we need to do is we need to show people that there has been success, that our business is doing well. Now, that does not just be, in a monetary standpoint. It's also in a standpoint of the people that I am working with, the people that come to me are also successful, right? And so this means that you should be able to show that somebody else has benefited from the work that you've done. So what I'm going to do is each one of these is going to have whatever our acronym is. And then I'm going to show you a video that portrays exactly what we're talking about. So again, this case study is based on La-Tasha Best-Gaddy of Infinity Bridges.
I was really nervous. I really didn't know exactly what I needed help with. I didn't know the process. I didn't understand even how to get started or how I would find a space in makeup to have like a company. So I was like, maybe I should just do HR. Maybe it shouldn't be makeup. But she was like, no, like it can be. You could find that. You could figure that out. And I remember her taking this, she got frustrated with me and she took a marker and she went to the whiteboard and literally helped me create a strategy for nonprofit work and for-profit work. And she was like, it's easy. And I was like, you're brilliant. Like, you are a genius. And how the heck did you just do that? You don't even know me. But she made it so seamless, so effortless. And she also helps me understand the process to make these things happen, and how important alignment was when it came to my businesses, my business structures, if you will.
Okay. So that right there is a testimonial from somebody she helped, showing how her experience then made it so easy. Ooh, don't play with it. Don't play with it. So I want you to understand something. A lot of times people, when they look at how much you charge, they look at how much time they feel it should take, right? And that sounds reasonable, right? Because we work on an hourly basis. I mean, even if you're a billionaire, you still, you can break it down to hours and minutes and seconds. However, in order for her to listen, to get to that whiteboard, to write it, to show you how easy it could be, that took experience. That took trial and error. That took knowledge. That took connections. And those things were honed over the course of years, not just something where it was just, okay, well, today, this is what I think I can do. So I need you to understand that when people do charge a price, that price is based on experience and not just how long it takes them to do something. And so even though it's quick and it can be put together in a short amount of time, you still have to execute on the experience that somebody else gave you. And so that's why I think for you and your business, you have experience at something, you charge a rate for that experience. But do you tell people all of the components that go behind the experience that you have that then lead you to say, you know what? Yeah, I should raise my prices. Yeah, I might want a different clientele. Yeah, the price is the price and I'm not going to alter it for you. And when you get your money, come back. Or this is the price and maybe, honey, you could put it on PayPal and do 4 payments or Klarna or Afterpay or something. So with our experience, there does come a price, but there's also a level of commitment that we bring to things when we share that experience with you and show you how to do something which looks effortless to us, but for you was a hill to climb over, a mountain to get to the top of. And so when we have great experience, we make it easier for you to do what you need to do for your business to be successful. Now, our next thing is expertise. So experience and expertise are not the same thing, all right? So when you look at this, I want you to consider, what's your bio? So you have a bio for you, hopefully a bio for your business. If not, update those things now, okay? But let me give you a tip for 2026. What in your bio can help you to answer the questions for somebody else to show your level of expertise? Right? So, for instance, I don't put this out there as much, but I mean, it is a fact that I was in a Toastmasters club called Speakerpreneur Toastmasters. We at the time, well, when I first, went into the club, it was like, okay, I want to do more speaking. And so let me listen, let me go through this process of seeing what it would take to structure things. And so that's where I think it's an important factor. The structure of things does make a difference, because you have probably done all kinds of wonderful, amazing things, and you probably do have great credentials. So that could be your degree, that could be any type of course that you've taken, that could be a certification, a certificate. It could be a member of a certain type of organization, which could be based on tenure. It could be based on position too, because that makes a difference, because sometimes you're a member of an organization, but you don't hold a position. But then once you do, you get to see things from a different perspective. So what are those credentials? Okay. And then when you're thinking about what you're putting out, so not just your bio and your credentials, but then a combination of those things, and you say, well, I'm going to put out some content that lets people see my expertise. So maybe you're doing a tutorial. Now, today, what I'm doing is I'm teaching, right? But I'm teaching in a different method than I normally do, because most of the time I'm teaching you more so of a hard skill. Today is really a soft skill kind of thing. And so if you said, listen, I want to write a white paper, I want to be able to tell people about a specific subject matter that makes sense for my business, you can share that expertise in a different way. You can also show a person how to do something that they can replicate. There are a lot of things that when we come to our expertise, it is in what we do, and then what the result of that thing is that then really, really shows our expertise. So I think that if you want to get into more of the expertise spot, then you want to consider that you do have a background that led you to a particular place and moment in time, and that you also then showcase that, which you can do through articles as well. So I tend to do more articles. Now, sometimes I'll do a white paper, which for me still always turns into an article, because I'm like, oh, I could do this, and this could be a digital download. And that's cool. And that's great. But then I want something to go along with it so that it makes sense as to why you get this digital download. So for me, I like to show expertise in my writing. I like to show it in the trainings that I do. And I also like to show it in my interviews. So if I'm interviewing or podcasts, because I mean, it depends, like maybe I'm doing something by myself, but in order for me to do that, let me share this with you. However, the other way is in the actual work that you do. You can show expertise by doing what you say you do. So this next video is going to be from Alyssa Mako of the National Institute, and she's talking about infinity bridges, but she's showing where the expertise lies. So let's take a look.
La-Tasha has a heart for the small business owner. She is a small business owner. She is really all about connecting people with the right resources and making sure you have what you need in order to grow and expand. And there are times and places personally where I've seen she's come to me with additional resources I didn't even know I needed. So she kind of comes to say, have you ever tried this? Or have you ever thought about that? And then the little light bulb goes off in my head to go, hey, that would be really helpful for me, right? So she almost is able to anticipate what you would need or anticipate upcoming opportunities and connect you the right way. I mean, I've seen her build programs, at the Institute, and I've seen her have a good understanding of who needs what pieces and how to to position herself or to help you position yourself to be in the right room with the right people. So she absolutely has kind of a good grasp of how to lead her, not only her team, but also her small businesses, to put them in the right room and say, put a little bug in your ear to get, don't forget about that part. And you should really ask them about X, Y, and Z, because that's going to come up for you in the future.
Let me tell you something. That was a word. That whole little video, about a minute long, was a word. And it was because she gave so much information. She said she anticipated the things that I needed before I even knew that I needed. You understand that? So I need you to understand, in your business, if you can anticipate what people will need or want before they know that they need or want it, you can sell them. I mean, that's just it. So let's just say, for instance, and I'm going to give you something easy. It's a little thing called Valentine's Day that happens every year, right? And Valentine's Day for lovers, boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, boo thing to boo thing, all of that, right? But somebody came up with the idea of, well, listen, what do you want to do beforehand? Because maybe everybody doesn't have a boo thing on Valentine's Day. And typically, women specifically want to still do something, right? So why don't we just flip it and call it Galentine's Day? And then this is an opportunity for you to celebrate love of, relationships with your girls, right? And so Valentine's Day is probably like $1 billion industry. But Galentine's Day, okay? Whoever thought of that, whoever anticipated, they saw a need that women still wanted to be together, that if they did have a significant other, they were not going to be with their girls on that day, but that maybe they didn't have a significant other. And so whether they do or don't, they still want to just love on each other. Women love to eat, drink, and be merry, to be around each other. And that desire then turns into, well, listen, instead of us selling one present, we can sell a bunch, because then all the girls gets presents, right? And it's like, who anticipated that? So what I'm saying to you is, you can do the same thing for your customers. So if you're looking right now and you have a venue and you are only going to focus on Valentine's Day, you could do a Galentine's Day week. You could be focusing on Galentine's Day now. You could start really marketing and promoting those things and sell out before February even gets here, okay? I mean, it depends on your business. Look at the trends of what's happening. Pay attention to the technology that is there and utilize those things symbiotically, use them together, right? So that this way, it's not an either or. You can do both of those things. You can have Valentine's Day and Galentine's Day. You can then market and get more money throughout the week than you just would have gotten on a weekend. So think about the things that are important in your business and then anticipate those things. Now, if you talk about other businesses where maybe they're not selling a tangible product, I mean, that's cool. But some people are selling more of a service. And some people's things are not necessarily going to fit into the Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day type of thing. However, we still need you to make money every day that you have a business. So think about the things, and as far as financially, where you think your client is. Think about the value that your business poses to clients and utilize that when you're sharing your expertise, so that this way, it doesn't matter. Do you want a certain thing or not? Do you want this outcome? And so I think that a lot of times people get very, what's the word I want to use? Very bogged down in the sense of, well, I'm not sure if they're going to pay that, right? But what I say is, when you show them the value that you're bringing in your expertise, and you can show them they could do without it if they want to, but they would be so much better with your business because they want that outcome. So how do you anticipate? You think about what they actually want to happen. So let's just say, for instance, let's use the gym as an example, because in the new year, that's what everybody, let's go join the gym, right? Now, the thing is, I have a gym in my complex. I don't need to go join a gym, right? And I'm also not a let me go take a whole bunch of classes with other people sweating type of person. I'm just not, right? I've done it before, but it's not my forte, okay? But if you said, well, listen, what are some of the things that you need to do? Flexibility, like maybe I want this little knee, because I used to have some Megan knees back in the day. Wow, this is before Megan, but this was the Juvie knees. This was the Nelly, drop down and get your eagle on knees. Honey, this knee right here acts like a whole entire fool now. However, guess what? If I need this knee to be more flexible, then I can make a choice, right? And so then the question is, what is my choice? My choice is, okay, well, look, you can go walk outside or you can go walk on a treadmill. You can go find another thing in there that still stretches. Maybe you need bands, but do you want the knee to get better? Do you want it to stretch more? And when you figure out that that's really the outcome that you want to just feel better. You know what I mean? Like you don't want that knee to just lock up on you. Then you will find a solution that works for you. So in our expertise, our job is to guide people to the solution that's going to work for them. It is to really say, okay, well, look, all right, so you don't go to the gym if that's not what you want to do, but there are house exercises that you could do. And maybe then you find something where it's a little exercise program and you put it on the TV and that's your thing and you could do it yourself. And maybe you just need baby increments. But our job is still to show people our expertise, to anticipate their needs and give them what they need before they even think that they need it. All right. So now let's keep on going, guys. All right. So authority. Now this is one that I do really enjoy, is the authority part. And now that I see this as far as like the animation, how it just is waiting to fill up the whole thing, we will be using something different. But don't worry about that. It's still a great presentation. So for authority, you are the best person to tell people who you are, what you do. Now, the problem is sometimes you don't want to do it. Okay. And that's fine. That's understandable. So what happens? Does that mean people just don't know who you are? No. Does that mean that you take the time to build authority in a different way? That might be what you need to do. So when I say on here, high quality backlinks, that means that if other places that are reputable, that people go to on a regular basis, are already an authority, having you down as a partner, as a collaborator, as a resource helps you build authority. Now, if you've ever seen some of the advertisements where like a person will say, well, as seen on ABC, CBS, as seen in, whatever magazine or whatever, that is how you build authority. And you're probably like, well, how do I get in those magazines and things? And that's not exactly what we're talking about to get into detail with this, but that is one way of showing authority, which is other people wrote about you. Other people say great things about you. So then when they said those great things, they put a link to your website to come back to you, a link to your social media. But that means that your things have to be in order. So let me give you one big tip that I do and that I'm even refining even more, right? As we go into 2026. Your website is your place of authority. Even though I know your social media is there, but if I click from social media and I go to your website, I want to see that things match up. I want to see that they line up. They don't have to be exact, but I do want to see that it seems like you know what you're talking about. So what I'd like you to do is create your authority page on your website. I want you to give people a place that if they want to find out more about you, they click and they come to this authority page. I want you to put, like, if you've had any media interviews, whether that's a newspaper or whatever, it's a link to go to that thing. Okay. I also want you to take into consideration on there if you've had any partnerships. You can tell people who you've worked with before. So that might mean a logo, but you could also do it in where a person does a video for you and they're saying nice things about you. You can use the reviews and your testimonials from online, because all of those things build authority in your industry and they show people that you know what you're talking about. But hopefully it also shows that other people think you know what you're talking about. And so at the bottom, it's like guest posting and interviews. So for me, that is one of the biggest things that I like to use. I like to use interviews because it gives me the opportunity to talk and show people somebody else is listening, and I'm saying good things and I'm saying things that make sense. Now, you'll have a lot of people that might get interview crazy, but the message is still the same. Even if you change the audience, we still want you to pay attention. We still want you to buy. We still want you to share. Those are all of the things, right? But those things make a difference. So build yourself an authority page where a person can go immediately and get your bio, right? All the things we talked about before, experience and expertise, where a person can see your expertise. So I have a page now, that's the CHISA page, basically, inside of our Give It to the People website, and it has all the things about CHISA, articles and interviews and things that have been done in the past, and I can make that even better. And so that's what I'm saying. You can refine it, but just get all your pieces together and then really sit and think about all of the people that you've worked with. Woo, Jesus. So whether it is your clients, whether it is your partners, your collaborators, whatever, pull those things together, put them all on one page, and that's your authority page. Now, I would also suggest making sure that your bio is a digital download, like a PDF that a person can just go ahead and download. Also, that you have a set of pictures in there that you want people to use, so that this way they can just download those and they can use them whenever they're talking about you, writing about you. Because if you're going to be an authority, people are going to want to have a basic of who you are and what you look like. I mean, those are the basic things. You can also do this for an authority standpoint on your LinkedIn, where you can go in and you can add in some of the projects that you've worked in, and you can add those things to any of the jobs or positions that you've held or currently do hold, so that this way we can kind of see that you've done these things. Because some people are nosy, and like me, they're going to go to LinkedIn and they're going to want to look and they're going to see what you said that you've done. So if you go to your LinkedIn, does your LinkedIn line up with who you want to be and who you're saying you are on your website and on additional social media? Okay, so let me show you a little video about authority. Now, this one's a little bit longer, but this one is a part of one of our biggest events that we do every year, which is the Black Biz Summit. And so in a short amount of time, La-Tasha was able to show authority. So again, we're using her and Infinity Bridges as our case study today to show you how you can do these things so you can eat in 2026.
The month of August marks National Black Business Month, and the Black Business Summit has a theme of experience the energy. It's something organizers say business owners should want to be connected with.
This is definitely one of the things that I add to my annual calendar every year.
For La-Tasha Best-Gaddy, it's the energy and networking that keeps her coming back to the Black Business Summit. She's a sponsor, panelist, and participant this year.
My company is Infinity Bridges, and we focus on business advising, training, and entrepreneurship ecosystem building.
She's among 80 people that registered for the 4th annual event.
It's been referred to as a corporate cookout with cousins, and so we like that term.
Chisa Penix Brown and her husband Montreux launched the Black Business Summit in 2021 out of what she calls a critical need to support, celebrate, and connect existing and potential business owners.
Plan a year out, okay? We want to make sure that we get the right people in the room. And I think that that's an important thing, because a lot of people have events, but are there people that you want to see?
The event offers plenty of networking, free headshots, interviews, and breakout sessions.
I'm doing a session today on Money Matters.
Business and commercial capital consultant Corey Barber runs Barber Companies, presenting to the crowd today on how to secure business and commercial capital.
We really need to drill down on the emotion of money, the purpose of money, and how to strategize and use it to empower our communities.
Jonathan Collins told me he helped CHISA launch this summit. Today, he's here as a community partner.
It's not just an event for Black businesses. It's an event for people that want to support Black businesses.
CHISA told me this year's summit was smaller than in years past because she wanted everyone to focus on making connections and not sitting through back-to-back sessions. She says connecting in person is key.
You have to be in the streets, the entrepreneurial streets, in order for people to be able to see you and to be able to really know about your business.
In Durham, Akila Davis, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
All right. And if you heard that, that was Tammy in the background. She was like, yeah, she fell. But let's keep moving. So, did you see that? The authority was there for us for doing the Black Biz Summit, for the people that we had in the room, but also from a perspective of La-Tasha just sharing what she does, how she doesn't miss it, how she makes sure that it's on her calendar every year, and being able to talk about her business. So that shows you as an authority when you're out here, at other things and you're ready for the opportunity to be able to speak and you're ready to share your business. And I'm saying that because there were other people in the room that could have been on the news, but they're like, oh no, I'm not ready, or oh, I'm not sure what I want to say. But the ones that are ready and that are confident in what they are and who they are and what they do, those are the ones that their authority gives them permission to just be great. And so I think that your authority can give you permission to be great. I think you just have to have it and you have to share it with other people. So I just wanted you to consider that. All right. So now that we've done that, let's keep it going. And the last of our EAT acronym is trustworthy or trustworthiness. Okay. And so the thing about this is being transparent does help with trustworthiness. So we're not going to get into who's not transparent. Okay. We're just going to talk about your version of trustworthiness. And so for me, if something goes well, I tell you something goes well. If it didn't go well, I tell you it didn't go well, right? If something was great, I'm definitely going to tell you it's great. If it was just okay, I'll be like, okay. There's always room for improvement. And so acting like everything is perfect all the time is not it, sis or bruh, right? For me, it is, just telling people the truth, meeting people where they're at, but sharing where I am. And there are some things that are non-negotiables. There are some things that I'm definitely going to do. Definitely. Like this is, you can count on it 100 times out of 100 that I'm going to do it. And there's some stuff that is just like, nope, that's not for me. And so I'm not going to do that. Right. And so for me, I think that that's an important factor when you talk about your business. But complete business information on your profiles does help you to be trustworthy, because the biggest thing that you have to look at is, I want to know where you're at. So what city and what state? I want to know where I can contact you. Where's the website? Where's the email or whatever the thing is that you need me to contact you with? And I also want to see that other people have actually trusted you with whatever it is that you say that you do, right? And then the last part right here will be social media. So the social media portion, take that into consideration as to you get the opportunity to show people what you want them to see and who you are. And a lot of times I probably don't even show as much as I probably could when it comes to the social media. And that's not a bad thing, but it's just more so because I will take 1 million pictures and put out 2 or 3. I will take a picture and not put it out for a week or a month, right? Because I think sometimes I just want to internalize like what's happening. I want to think about it. I want to reflect. And I also don't need you knowing I'm at everything. However, I do see the benefit to people that do that, where they go ahead and they put out, where they've been every second. I'm just not that person. I will have content on top of content on top of content. And sometimes that's good because you have something to reflect on. Sometimes you have things to go back and be like, you know what? Yeah, a week ago I was at such and such, or a month ago I did this and that. Because what happens is then we can see those connections in that alignment, right? So like, for instance, I told you November was my do it, make sure you get it done month, right? That was my month to say, I'm going to get stuff done before the end of the year. So I use November as an achievement month for me. And so I had meetings with a bunch of people. I didn't take pictures at those meetings. I didn't post about those meetings, but I know that things are going to come later on. So later on, if I go ahead and post them, then it's like, oh, okay, I see you. And I'm like, do you really? Like, you see me, but this was months ago, right? Or this was a month ago. I think that the thing is for you to sit down sometimes, and trustworthiness can come from a one-on-one conversation. It can come from a small group meeting. But to me, one of the biggest things with trustworthiness, I think, in any way, where it comes from is asking questions. Ask people what they need, survey them, value their opinion, and then go and make those decisions. Because a lot of times if you're doing things autonomously, which I'm autonomous, but I still have Mr. Brown, I have my main support crew, LLC, and having those conversations, it allows you to consistently be transparent. Like, you don't have to keep hiding things from people. You may want to not tell people everything all at one time, but the trustworthiness does come when you give people information. And I'm also not saying put all of your business out there. I'm definitely not saying do that. But I am saying that you can share what you need to share with people. And so in part of that, if you say you do these things, then when I see them online, it should reflect that. So that's really what my biggest thing is at when it comes to trustworthiness. Now let's watch.
On my own business, and then there have been instances where I've brought Infinity Bridges in to be co-conspirator, a co-partner to help out other businesses. In my own business, one of the things that we worked on is the financial component, right? Understanding where the business is and where's it need to be financially. That's not necessarily where my strengths are. And so I understand that. And so I go out for expert help on those spaces. Conversely, we are currently working with a young lady who has just a ton of potential in front of her, right? And I realized, I was like, oh, I need some assistance. I can always expect La-Tasha to give me honest feedback. And if I've gone too far, too fast, and I've left some things out, which I want to do because, you know, my brain's firing in a different way, she will slow me down and say, just pause for a second. Let's rein this thing in. And then let's think about it from not an economic standpoint, but a financial standpoint.
All right, so I showed that video. This is another example of expertise, right? Because in our first example, it was a person talking about some of the things that you do, but how you affect them. And so being an end user client is a little bit different. But part of that, when we talk about trustworthiness too, is, and what do we see? What do we see that you're putting out? So this last video that I'm going to show you for La-Tasha is amazing. And all of these videos, just FYI, were done by Eric Reese's company, which is, oh no, don't blank out right now. Oh my gosh, come on, don't do this. I will have the answer for you when we watch this last video. Oh, here we go. It's popped in my head. We Shift Culture. So We Shift Culture is a Durham-based business. They focus on marketing, and they created these videos. So all of these that you've seen so far, with the exception of the one from ABC, these were created by them. But this last one is the one where I want you to see the trustworthiness. You ready? I think you are.
I have these set of skills. I have this certain way that I do things that is different. And I like the object of connection, or what a bridge does. But I do it in a way that has multiple ways, which is that infinity. It forever goes, but it goes with intentionality. It goes with purpose. So something that is infinite means that it can continue in many different ways. That's really how an entrepreneur is, because I may start a business one way, but it may shift and change and grow into something more. So that's what Infinity Bridges is. It is something that has this multiple ways of doing something, but being able to do it with intentionality, being able to do it with thought, being able to do it with care.
All right, so now you see where I ended. And so your platform should be the place that people should be able to find out. And all of this, if you do it, honey, this will help you eat all 2026, because you have something that is there. You already started this business, but once you can show us your experience, your expertise, you can show us your authority and your trustworthiness, all of those things matter. Bring those things together so that people can really see them. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to, hopefully this has showed you a reason why what we do is important over here at the Give It, Get It business membership, and I give it to the people in general. And so this next thing that I'm going to show you is going to be something where I want you to just understand why we feel like membership is important, and then how we are taking all of our assets to be able to eat. And so if you want to check with La-Tasha, you can go ahead and you can scan the QR code. You can get in touch with her at infinitybridges.com. And then I'm going to show you our video. Or maybe not. I don't know why I thought I had this video next. Don't worry about it. This is our event that we have coming up called Workforce in Action. And I realized what happened. I moved the video to the end. So silly, but it's okay. I tell you, we're going to make it happen. But Workforce in Action is an event that we're going to be having this week, Friday, December 5th. And it is at the E. Harvey Estes Center, which is right off of Page Road in Durham. This is going to feature NC Representative Zach Hawkins, La-Tasha Best-Gaddy, who we've been talking about, and also Glenda Morrow. We're going to be helping you if you said, look, I want to hire employees, or if you're the type of person who's like, look, I've been looking for a job and I want to find a way for me to get into the workforce system easier. I want to upskill myself, or I want to upskill my employees, or I am the type of person who I want to facilitate because I can help go train people at different companies. This is where you need to be at, because it's going to be so many different pieces and facets to workforce development that can help you to grow your business, that I strongly suggest that you're there. One of the biggest things that I say is capacity. It's only one of you, but maybe you need somebody else to be able to help. Maybe you need to get those thoughts out of your mind. Maybe you need to create your SOPs, your job description. You need to get somebody else in there to help you. And so this is going to be one of those things. And that's why, we wanted to use La-Tasha for this particular presentation today, because then this way you can see how she's valuable and she can help you as well. Okay, so now maybe my video will actually show up. Oh, goodness. I plan so many things. Sometimes you plan stuff and then I'm telling you. So this right here is Daisha Banner. She's our featured member for the month. Her company is A Glass Above, and she is now 5 years in business. So we want to celebrate with Daisha. She makes amazing drinks. She is mobile bartending, mixology. She can come into your company and train your employees on how to mix some drinks. It can be a girls' night. It can be a family event. Whatever it is, she can make sure that she's serving you up some delicious beverages. And so one thing I would say is we have amazing members. Daisha is definitely one of them. And so if you want some wonderful taste sensations in your mouth, and I mean that in the most respectful way, with some delightful, wonderful beverages and a very creative menu, then I suggest talking to Daisha Banner of A Glass Above, and tell her that the Give It, Get It business membership sent you.
Sometimes you just have to breathe out, because as a business owner, you get overwhelmed. As even a business service provider, you're in a situation where you're still trying to help people. And this year has been one of those years where everything has gotten turned upside down. But I want you to know that there is a silver lining. And one of the silver linings is what we provide, which is the Give It, Get It business membership. So we came up with this concept of making sure that there was a hub for resources in the state of North Carolina. What we do is we make sure that you get your own account. You can list your social media. You can also list your events. You can get the opportunity to change our site into multiple languages so that this way it is compatible for you. And we want it to be accessible to as many people as possible. This is a game changer, because sometimes you're looking all over the place to find events. You don't necessarily get people to send you the things that you really need so that you can stay in business. So whether you're talking about contracting, or you're a product-based business and you're looking for places that you can vend, or if you're looking for wonderful networking events, that's what we provide, all of that. But we also make sure that we focus on money and marketing, which is what businesses need. So if you said, listen, I didn't know that this existed, now you do. And we have a free version for you, which is why you can go to giveitgetit.biz and get your free account, or you can get a premium account, which is going to give you some more benefits. Now, we also have an opportunity, if you're interested in being more of a sponsor, for you to have a higher level account for even your clients. So I just think that, we want to go into next year in a way that allows us to be as successful as possible. And what that means is that you need help. We all need a little bit of help. And this is why we build community. And this is why we have our theme of be in the ecosystem. So if this sounds like something that's good to you, and it sounds like something that's good to me,
then I suggest that you go ahead and you join GiveIt because we are here to help your business give it to the people.
Okay, so listen, let me tell you something. One thing about me is I'm going to eat. So when I say the consistency level, as you can clearly tell, everything that I've said today is the same thing that I said in that video that was done a couple months ago. We are serious about helping your business grow and giving you tools that you need to be successful. So please go ahead and join the membership now at giveitgetit.biz, and we will see you as a member coming up soon. And then here is also our QR code. Consistency does make a difference. Having somebody there who knows what's been going on and how to help you does make a difference. And so hopefully this video has been something that has improved your business acumen and got you together so that this way all December you can work on your month of achievement and you can actually get some of these things together so that you'll be amazing in 2026. Hope you've had a beautiful time here with us this good 2025, and we bid you adieu, and we will see you in the new year. Make sure you always show up and show out, and that you continue to give it to the people. Bye, guys.